What's going on, folks? And we're back. MMA Lock Talk episode 15 here on this August 25th, 2022. Looks like some nice weather outside. I just haven't gotten the chance to get out there yet. Just want to see the weather real quick. Yeah, there's supposed to be some rain coming very shortly, maybe some thunderstorms as well. Really want to go out and go for a hike of some sort. Visit the ganja gods, if you guys know what I mean. Um, I guess the first thing I should talk about right off the bat was my guy Olajuwon Dream bringing it up pretty much immediately, the Kraus and Shea thing. I'll talk about that to start off just to get the live chat populated a bit. Then we can just get into the live chat after that. I am not certain what they were thinking with that. Now, I'll what I always like to do whenever there's situations like this, I like to put on the glasses where I can see both sides, why they decided that they thought that this would be a good approach, and then obviously why it's a bad idea. Now, from what I've heard in the past, there have been things like this. There have been guys that like try to get this betting, if you want to call it a syndicate or something, but a betting group put together and having guys take over their accounts and just bet for them. I am not thinking that this is anything new. I think that this is something that has been done by multiple people in the past. And just as I say that, I can hear thunder in the background. So I'm definitely not going to be going for a hike today. But maybe it's also the added effect of like how crazy this whole thing seems to be. I believe that this is something that has been done in the past. I don't know much about this Shea guy. I don't watch his podcasts. I don't have enough time. It's not that I'm saying that I refuse to listen to James Krause or any of his podcasts. That's my guy. You guys know me. Like James is my guy. Um, had him on the Ultimate Wayne show multiple times. He's on the Coach's Main Event Marathon. Like I have a pretty cordial relationship with him, but I don't bug him too much, right? I don't try to slide in his DMs often or try to get his opinions on a lot of things. We just have like a solid relationship. But from what I've seen, when he first started coming on that Best Bet show on with Brett Okamoto and all that, he had a different tone when it came to betting. Like he came on saying, "I don't really care about the betting lines. I'm just picking the winner." Like I remember that was one of the things that he would say earlier in the early episodes. And then I think since then, Nick Kalikas has, kind of groomed him in a sense to be like, "Hey, numbers do matter, odds do matter, all these things do matter." Um, and I think he's kind of changed his tone since then. And then since then, he's been partnering, I believe, with the Shea guy, right? Like he's been talking about how he has a millionaire betting extraordinaire that he's been groomed by, and he's kind of learning from this guy. And I think that guy ends up being Shea, if I'm not mistaken. I know nothing about that guy. I know nothing about his background. I know nothing about his experience. I know nothing about his betting record, any of that stuff. But I do think that that guy's been around the game for a while in the aspect of being in the gambling industry for a while. And I think some things that he's seen is this whole account takeover thing that they're trying to do now. I think from their perspective, they don't think they're doing anything wrong. I think they are, you know, providing a service that people would love to do. But where I kind of have the holdup is, a lot of it, there's two big things for me. One of them being the 75-25 split. That just seems fishy right off the bat. Why would I want to give somebody, 5 grand of my money to sit in an account and then they'd make bets for me? And then at the end of the week, they get 75%, I get 25%. That doesn't make any sense to me. I want way more of a return on my money than 75-25, or at least way more of a split than I should say. And then secondly is like guaranteeing that this will be a long-term winning thing. It's inevitable, right? Like they're just saying words. There is no legitimate track record to back that up. That's like, you know, going to the bank and asking for a low percent loan or something like that, but all they ever have given is high percentage loans. But again, like the track record that we see out there apparently still has them down about 12 units. So it's tough to have true confidence in that. And to have all these big ventures and stuff that he's jumping into, being about a year and a half stepping into the betting space. I think it's a little bit weird. I believe they I believe that they are well intentioned. I don't think that they're setting this up to be some sort of scam. I'm trying to look at it through their glasses, right? I don't think they believe it's a scam. I think they believe that it's a legitimate business tactic, essentially, so that they can be like, "Hey, we're the ones that made the bets for you, so if they win or lose, we can take full responsibility," compared to just giving out tips. And then, if there are tips, but people aren't betting it correctly, and then they come back and start whining, saying, "Hey, I didn't win taking your bets," then they would have been like, "Hey, you should have taken these odds, you should have taken this much stake." I think that's what the whole account takeover thing is for, so that they can be like, "Look, we can see it with our own eyes. We made you money. Take your cut. We're taking our cut, blah, blah, blah." But it just still seems just so weird to me. It seems so weird. I don't know why James would want to attach himself to something like that. And again, it's illegal. It is legitimately illegal to do something like this. Even putting it on their private Discord, you got to know that there's, lurkers. There's guys that are just waiting for you to slip up and tear you down. I think about that in my Discord all the time. I've had in my own Discord, guys out there that I know were talking shit behind my back and, all that type of stuff. Like I absolutely know this. It comes like there's always somebody on the other side of the coin. So you have to be wary about even if you have a private type of thing, there are people still willing to go out there and try to tear you down. It's not a good look, especially in this gambling space. Nobody ever wants to see somebody like again, I feel like I have a different mindset in terms of wishing everybody the best and hoping everybody catches and all that stuff. But there are people out there that hope that people that are on a big platform fail. Yanni the Greek, right? Like nobody likes the fact that he's on a big platform, but his betting experience from the past is the reason why he's gotten that spot on the UFC. And again, I've said it over and over again that I believe that he's better off on a number based betting sport, right? Like or a more numbers based or statistical based sport like baseball or basketball or football compared to combat sports where yes, you can take statistics into consideration a little bit, but like for the bigger picture, you really need to do the tape study and see how these guys actually fight and how they compare up against the style that they're going up against in their next fight. So I see the Yanni hate, I see the Ian Parker hate. That was my guy as well. But once these guys get big platforms, a lot of people just want to tear these guys down because they feel they're better than them or that there are better guys. There's always going to be somebody better out there, no matter what. Always. But it's not just, here's my betting record. I do amazing. You got to be able to talk. You got to be able to sell yourself. You got to be able to put out content. You got to do all this stuff. And you got to be legit for years and years and years. So, but yeah, getting back to the James thing, it's weird that he's attacking this market so aggressively. One with the private Discord, two with this whole account takeover thing. It's I don't know why he decided to do this and go as far deep into it as he has. Like I know that this guy is set even without the betting stuff. Like I know he has a bunch of real estate projects that he works on, and he has a lot of money invested in other spots. Tackling the betting market the way that he is right now, I just think is a bit weird and a bit off. So, I don't want to DM him. I don't want to message him and be like, hey, what the fuck is going on? I'm sure he's getting a lot of that already. I'm going to let this kind of blow over a little bit and then bring it up maybe in the future. But yeah, just not a good look. And then everybody just piling on at this point in time. I'm sure he's really feeling it. I believe he's actually on a flight right now to go somewhere to Vegas, I think. But yeah, not a good look in my opinion. Still got love for him, but I hope that he comes to his senses about what he's doing here. Tristan Sherhouse in the chat saying, "Hi, Matt. Missed the last few ones because super busy at work, but hope you're doing well on the off week. Appreciate it, my friend." Super sus to me. I guess one of comments deleted. Interesting. Tristan said, "I was asking about one championship weigh-ins. So many people failed hydration like Adriano Moraes, but then they're able to come back later and make weight. That's what I was saying was super sus. Very weird." Um, Yeah, I don't know. I thought the hydration thing was to make sure that these guys are cutting weight properly, but considering how big this event is for them, maybe they're giving these guys a little bit of leeway. So very weird to me. Real news in the chat, burning that bush. Love it. Papa Chuck, appreciate you stopping by saying, "Yo, Matt Preet, thanks for keeping things lively during this off week. MMA Lock Talk is always here for you guys. You guys know that. This is somewhere you guys could always come through, shoot your shit, talk your shit, and I will talk my shit back, positively or negatively." Asher Quinn in the chat. Papa Chuck saying super odd. I was a fan of Cross, but that makes me think otherwise. Sketch. I'll say this though. The narratives that are coming out of this, like people want to pile on to him, but the one other narrative that I'm starting to see that I just think is absolutely false is like him betting against his own guys. Him betting on his guys. Sure, he can do that. Fighters bet on themselves all the time. So him betting on his fighters, I don't think anything wrong with that. It's unless he's betting against his fighters. That's where I think that things start to get a little bit shady. I don't think he's ever done that publicly or anything yet. I don't think that's something that he actually does. I think he has a little bit more integrity than that. But like, let's keep our eyes on what the actual problem is, and that's the account takeover thing. Don't spread this into other things that are going to start taking on a narrative of its own. I do not think he is of that guy that will bet against his fighter. I really do not. Prism Mike saying, "Can you give me a rundown of what happened for those who don't know?" Sure. I should have connected those dots for you guys a little bit earlier. I apologize about that. Let me just pull it up here. Where did I see it posted? I think my guy Lucrative quote tweeted it as well. Here it is. So let me just quickly read to you. So they're offering account takeovers, him and Shay on their private Discord. Let me just quickly read what they are saying. This is word for word what they have posted in the Discord. "As of now, we are accepting account takeovers. The accounts you give us will receive our sharpest wagers and all of our bets, assuming the account has a number we are looking for a given bet prior to the numbers being steamed. We stand behind our work and guarantee a profit. Any user who has given us one or more accounts has not turned a profit at the end of the season will receive a full refund on losses." And even in brackets, they said, "Won't happen. It won't happen that they'll not see profit." Again, very difficult to just right out say that when you don't have a legitimate track record to showcase that. "If you lost your account for whatever reason while in the red prior to the end of the season, we are not obligated to supply the refund. I may choose to do so in particular circumstances, but that will be entirely to our discretion. Our seasons go by the major market U.S. sports. This current season ends on the Monday immediately following the Super Bowl." Uh, huh. See, that's interesting. Immediately following the Super Bowl. So this might be something that was put out way back. Like this might be interesting. So I think a lot of people overlook that. One of the notes in here says this current season ends on the Monday immediately following the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is until February, right? So like they must have started this at the beginning of the year. And I think somebody's just bringing this up to, like people love to go back and bring up things to people, right? So I think that's a big part that people are overlooking, that this current season ends on the Monday immediately following the Super Bowl. So this was from months and months back. I'll continue on with it, but it says we are looking primarily for offshore credit accounts. We will also look at VIP or regulated accounts. The way the betting partnership works is you give us the account information as in usernames and passwords. Kraus and I do all the betting. It's simply too hard to track any personal wagers, so be prepared to leave the wagering to us completely. At the conclusion of each week, we split the profits, losses. In certain circumstances, we may require a security deposit for an amount that will be determined based on the credit line of the account you provide. Another condition of our betting partnership is that we require a guarantee on our portion of the gambling winnings. For example, if you win 8K on a given week, but the bookie doesn't pay you for your whatever reason, you must come out of your own pocket. As of now, we are accepting account takeovers. The accounts will give us, you give us, will receive our sharpest wages in all of our bets, assuming the account. Okay. Sorry, that seems to be a thing. Um, we stand behind our working guarantee of profit. As far as the split, each account holder will retain 25% of the account. If week one we win 10K, you keep 2,500 and you send us 7,500 to be split between Kraus and himself. If week one we lose 10K, we will send you 7,500. And your account is in the red, 2,500, as previously stated, any accounts in the red long term will be covered by us. The reason we don't do it on a weekly basis is twofold. Anyone can lose a week or two, but eventually the math adds up and inevitably we will turn a profit. We are currently dealing with thousands of accounts and the counting becomes a nightmare if we need to keep track of how much was paid. You can expect our average win rate to be right around 59% long term, average odds being minus 110. This will equate to an average profit of 13,900 for every 100K wagered. We will be taking 100 counts only to begin with for any accounts, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I'm not sure if this is something that's come up again recently or if this is something that was from before. But I think that the whole Super Bowl line was a little interesting. Sri Guru saying thoughts on Holland versus D-Rod. I'm hoping that Holland is at a big plus money spot. Or sorry, Holland is a big favorite like he normally is, because I think D-Rod could give him some problems, honestly. That will all be odds based for me, but I still do lean D-Rod there. The big question mark, though, he's been out of the cage for a while, dealing with a bunch of injuries, and now he's taking this fight on relatively short notice. So that is something to keep an eye on. The Real Study in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. Sanson's Boulevard saying, "What's up, y'all?" Lajon Dream saying, "Yeah, feels like he's diminishing his credibility, honestly." Moise Audio saying, "The goddamn frauds." Sanson saying, "Super sketchy dealings. At his first benchers seemed genuine, but no, he just talks like a salesman." Yes. And what says they make a profit? This is gambling. Exactly. The fact that they guarantee that they're making profit is very sketchy. Finesse God with the $2 dono. Appreciate the love, my friends. Saying, can you give a Holland and D-Rod prediction? I am leaning D-Rod, but all of it is going to be dependent on the betting line there. Again, out of cage things is a little bit interesting for me as well. West Coast saying Holland wins by KO. West Audio saying call the FBI. Prison Mike saying, bro, who cares about this drama bullshit? I feel like I'm in high school listening to nerds gossip about each other. It's big in the Twitter streets today, so I gotta address it a little bit, I'm sure. West Coast saying FBI only goes after conservatives. Lajon Dream saying, yeah, it's the jealous people that think they should have the platform without putting in any work in. Bingo. Entitled NY Card saying, what's good luck? I'm tuning in while stuck in traffic. Early thoughts on Wood versus Jardine. Eileen Wood there. I think he's going to be the underdog play this week, or next week, I should say, but I do like Wood. Huey saying, what the fuck have we been talking about all week? Whatever you guys want to talk about, Huey. Come on. We keep the content rolling exactly. Other one Dream saying, whatever the chat asks. Sansa saying, Lock Talk is goated. I love it. Basil Hazelwood saying, Salikov versus Fialo booked. I'll be looking at the Salikov side there, guys. I think that Fialo is a little bit of a fraud, if I'm being honest, but it will all be odds dependent. You give me a plus money on Salikov, I'm taking the plus money there. Lajon Dream saying, yeah, first Sunday in February. Asher Quinn saying red flags all over the place. Greg Love saying opinion on El Kukui and Leach. I was asked about that all day yesterday, but Leach by KO probably, but I won't be playing that money line on either side. Lajon Dream saying, are people that dumb to pay for picks and not place them properly? Hey, it's happened. Trust me, it has happened. Rick the Ruler saying, man, nah, hell no. They ruled sound shitty as hell, exactly. Asher Quinn saying, I think that it's aimed at people who live in location where it's difficult to bet. That could be another thing too. Andy G saying, Lock, most exciting fight you're looking forward to this year. I cannot say Barnett versus Collier. I'm really looking forward to Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev, right? Like that's our new age version of Tony Ferguson against Khabib. Although, Charles is probably a better version of Ferguson at this point in time. And is Islam as dominant as Khabib? We'll find out in this fight. So that's the fight that I'm easily looking forward to most. Papa Chuck saying, I think Shea is a problem here, or is that just me? I agree. I think he's the one kind of whispering in James's ear to do all these things. Elijah Dream saying Holland at plus money. I doubt it, man. With all the hype that he has, I highly doubt he'd be at plus money. Elijah Dream saying Diaz Holland parlay. Look at this fucking savage over here. Asher Quinn saying, I think it's weird to speculate on who the problem is like that when we don't know the full details. Just super sketch. As soon as people got cash back for referring friends to the VIP, it was too far. Just too many red flags. I agree with that. Aaron saying D-Rod been out with a hand injury. Yes, that is the big question mark there. How do you predict they land the Holland D-Rod fight? I think they'll make Holland probably like minus 200. I'd assume minus 200 considering the love that he always seems to get. Noel Murphy saying, what's good luck? I have Saint to need 2 units minus 210 and Nazra Hackprass 2 units on minus 188 next weekend. Shame Lapis got injured. He was my anchor. Yeah, Lapis. I can't wait to see him back inside the UFC. 18-3 record. He went 3-1 in the UFC before he, departed. I'm not sure if he was cut or the UFC just didn't resign him. But this guy has been in the UFC before. Now he's been fighting all over the world, accruing even more experience. Just a bummer that he got injured. Saint to need 2 units minus 210. I haven't studied up on that fight. I know nothing about his opponent. But what I like in Saint Denis fights normally is the under or violence. So I'll be looking at that after I finish up the studying. Hack Prast, I'm a little bit sketched out about. I think he beats McDessie, but I just can't trust that kind of fighter, in my opinion. Asher Quinn saying, question, how do you decide how large your action is that week? Do you collate all the bets you like and the total is the total, or do you aim to outlay a target range, say 15 to 20 U per week? I don't. I do it based on bets. I don't say I'm going to bet 20 units this week. I do it more so based on confidence in each bet and then how many bets I actually like. I don't think I've ever really gone over like 15 units or even 10 units on a usual basis. Let me just see here real quick. Like per event, like per bet, I'm averaging about 2.34 units wagered. I'm not sure if I can pull up how many I've wagered per event. Average stake per event, 7.36 units. Most staked on an event, 18.07 units. So there you go. Legend Dream saying, yeah, Shay gives me weird vibes. Again, I don't know much at all about that guy. I don't watch the podcast. Thoughts on Shore versus Phillips? I'm hoping we're getting a good line on I'm hoping that we get a good line on Jack Shore there. I think Jack, he ran into a tough test against Ricky Simone, but I think he beats a guy like Kyler Phillips. I think he'll drown Kyler Phillips and beat him by decision. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what those odds are there. Asher Quinn saying, I still can't get over how stacked UFC 280 is. I looked at the full card the other day and it blows me away. I am so excited for that card. And again, the more that I'm thinking about it and considering that it's an afternoon card, I think I'm going to do a live stream of it here and just get fucked up because it's my birthday. So I'm going to be making it like a birthday party, watch party or something like that. But I'm going to get absolutely hammered on camera with you guys watching those fights. I think I'm going to do it. Greg Love saying if Masvidal fights Burns, should the UFC bring back the BMF belt? I think they should just leave it alone. And I don't think Burns really warrants a BMF type of fight, to be honest. Betting with my heart and not my mind. There you go. You got to bet with your mind if you want to make money, my friend. I apologize. Ken Noah is saying, did you see Cross and his homie telling people to give them access to their 5K account and they'll be bet for the. Yeah, we just talked about this. If you want to go back to the beginning of the stream, I did give my thoughts on it. But yeah, kind of sketchy. Large on Dream saying, I'm surprised lines haven't come out for Tony Leach yet. Yeah, that's in like a couple weeks as well. Untitled saying, when breaking down tape, what is the main thing you look for? Fighting styles, cardio, takedown defense, or takedowns if they are a takedown artist, ability to hold guys on the ground, ability to get back to their feet. Like those are the main things you really want to keep an eye on is cardio and how they deal with grappling, especially if they're a striker, right? Like I'm in the middle of taping one of the Contender Series fights next week, and one of the fights actually has a grappler versus striker. It's Ligio versus who's this guy? Rebecki. Um, Ligio, solid Muay Thai striker, seems to have decent takedown defense, seems to have decent get ups as well. But like I'm still midway through this Rebecca guy's tape. I got to see how good he is at his takedowns. The guy's like a fire hydrant, right? He's short. He's going to be shorter, but he'll be able to get to the hips a lot quicker. His jiu-jitsu seems to be there, but cardio and wrestling, that's something that I really like to look at. Buffo saying, "Luck at work today. Two cows got on onto the main card, and while my boss showed up, I was trying to steer them back to the field. I felt like Gandalf telling them they shall not pass, but I got headbutted. God damn, bro! You working on the farm out there? Jeez, that's some serious work, my friend. Hope you're feeling better from that headbutt that you received." Oliveira by sub. That's what my guy Dario Study is leaning on. Again, I'm going to be leaning on the under in that fight, if anything. Prison Mike saying, if I were a former fighter, I wouldn't team up with a dork looking guy like that unless unless there's some money involved, right? Laws on Dream saying that's how the show opened. There you go. MMA Jesus reminding us to free Kane. Yes, please free Kane. Ash Quinn saying, any early thoughts on Abu Sapian? I have not run that tape yet. I've decided that I wanted to finish the Contender Series tape before I got into the rest of the UFC pairs. So if you are on the Patreon, you'll be seeing the Contender Series being wrapped up later this evening. And then we'll get back into UFC pairs tomorrow. Lajon Dream saying, at least you didn't get kicked in the face or nuts by the cow. There you go. Sanson saying line is out on Betway. Leach minus 200. Tony plus 175. I expect that line to get steamed up. Everybody's going to be fading Tony this week or 2 weeks from now. Tristan saying, have you heard of Khalid Taha's new opponent, Christian Quinones at UFC Paris? Hopefully when you tape it, it looks like a favorable matchup for Khalid. Quinones was actually on the Contender Series. He got signed from the Contender Series. So I didn't watch it, unfortunately. Like last season, I didn't watch Contender Series that closely. Not as closely as I'm watching it this season. So I got to actually watch that. I can't give you a legitimate take on it yet, my friend. Both was saying definitely got lucky. I thought I was going to get trampled. I'd be shit scared as well. Greg Love saying this UFC seems sure that Izzy versus Pereira is going to be a fun fight. Not sure why though. How do you see it going? Should be fun. Two strikers, and I think even if Izzy tries to grapple here, I don't think he's going to have much success doing so. I think it'll be a fun fight. Andy G saying, Lock, do you have any plays for PFL or any interest in that card? I do not. I just don't have the time to look into those regional shows. UFC, Dana White Contender Series, and I'm good. Last one Dream saying, oh, sorry. Tristan Sherrill saying, anybody Tokyo with me right now? I'm hitting the bong now. There you go. I still got some work to do today, Tristan, but I'll definitely be getting on that later this evening. Bezo asking if I play fantasy football. I do not. I'm not a football guy. Also, Dream saying Mina Hakim a lock against Rosa. I wouldn't call him a lock, but I think he should be favored to win that fight for sure. MMA Jesus saying Collar Phillips beat Song not too long ago. Crazy how stacked this division is. He beat Song. I thought that was a very close fight. Could have gone either way, I think, from what I remember. But yeah, Kyler, I don't think he is that championship material that people initially thought he was going to be. Asher Quinn saying you like Gon tie over 2.5. I don't, because I wouldn't be surprised to see Gon to take a takedown approach here. Like we've seen Ty, get submitted off his back before. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gon maybe look to get this to the ground and kind of get him out of there quickly. But there's obviously the complete opposite where he just does zero Gon shit and he just touches you from the outside and wins a decision. I wouldn't lean so much on the over there myself. Urban Men in New Jersey saying, do you think Masvidal Makdessi is a live dog next week? He could be. I just don't know I have the confidence in there to bet a guy who's coming off an extended layoff, up there in age. I believe they've been training partners as well in the past at TriStar. I don't know. I can't take the shot at Mike Tyson myself, but I do see him having some moments in this fight. Paul John Dream saying Nate and Kevin, the only fighters I will be with bet with my heart. There you go. Aaron saying D-Rod, high volume, great boxing, always great dog to bet on him. Cashed him huge on him versus Mike Perry. Good shit. Yeah, if D-Rod is a dog, man, he'll definitely have my eye. Andy G saying someone said it, but agree that dude Shay just screams super sketch. Not a good look. Not a good look. Lajon Dream saying, hope he subs him off his back and flips up the red like he did before, talking about Nate Diaz. MMA Jesus saying James Krause cheated on his wife. How am I supposed to trust that dude with my money? Is that true? I don't know about that. I know he got a divorce, but like, I don't want to talk too much about his personal life, but crazy. Lajon Dream saying, dude rips jewels or whatever it is every second, 30 seconds on the pod. Wow. Interesting. John K saying best dogs in pairs. Wood, Kopilov, and Zia might be a home cooking play. What do you think? I haven't taped the ZM fight yet, but I do like the Wood Kopilov side. I do think both those guys are live dogs in this spot. MMA Jesus saying thoughts on Andre Fili opening as a slight dog, even with Bill Algeo. Algeo is always a tough guy to cap, right? Like unless he's fighting a gas bag like Herbert Burns, sometimes he may not have enough volume. Sometimes he's a little bit too flimsy. Sometimes he can be taken down and grinded out. I don't know. I do lean Bill Algeo there, though. I'm not a big Andre Fili guy. I think he's kind of hit his prime and hit his ceiling already. Lajon Dream saying you don't like to smoke while you work. It depends on what I got to do. Like if I have to record, I don't like to, or have to live stream, I don't like to burn, unless of course it's a lucky late night. But I do like just sticking straight with, just getting my work done and then eventually blazing afterwards. It just depends. Robot Chicken Wings in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Chris Barth Fitness Journey is saying, do you think the Gone line will change much? If anything, it might go higher. I don't see it getting any better. Robot Chicken Wings saying, Gred Love now is going to sleep. Wow. Real News saying, what do you think of Edgar replacing Farron to fight Perez? Sucks that Farron stepped out because I know a lot of people that were big on Perez. I just haven't been able to tape Perez myself yet, so I have no idea what we're getting with that fighter. But I love Edgar. She's always a solid spot in my head. Even with that fumble that she had in the Mayra Bueno Silva fight, she's going to bring it with the grappling aspect. It all depends on whether Perez has her grappling short up or not. Prism Mike saying, try to give dudes in sunglasses a bad reputation, but dudes in sunglasses are already the baddest around. There you go. Shout out to my guy Prism Mike, one of the regulars in here. Love that guy. MMA Jesus saying thoughts on Imavov Buckley over 1.5. I like it. If that's where the total is set, and you're getting good enough odds, not a bad line. Let me just pull that up, because if that is the widely available total, I'd consider that as a bet. Yeah, over 1.5 minus 145. Very interesting. Yeah, if it stays around that minus 150-ish range, I'll probably make a 1.5 unit bet on that at least. Basil Hazelwood saying, does Shabazian bounce back against Dalcha? That's got to be a very easy matchup for him. I'd be surprised if he fumbles the bag there. Yeah. Give me decent enough odds on Shabazian. I'll take it. But I think he can even finish Dalcha early in that fight. He will struggle against guys that can push him late still. I don't think his cardio issue is something that he's going to be able to fix at all, especially when he fights other pressure fighters. Josh K saying, did you see where Wonderboy refused the Rachmanov fight? Should he drop in rank? Is it because of this? I honestly don't know if Wonderboy can be any top 10 guy. Thoughts? I think he can beat strikers. I think grapplers are his kryptonite at this point in his career. Like, I don't think he can stuff takedowns as well as he used to, and it's showcasing in his last couple fights, right? I don't think he should lose his rankings, because I think the big thing here that a lot of people are missing is on the regular, Ranked guys are turning down other guys on the regular. It happens more than people know. It's just this is more publicized, right? Kobe's turned down fights. Leon Edwards has turned down fights. There's so many people that have turned down fights. And I get it with Wonderboy. You're number 6. Why do you want to give a guy like Rachmanov, who's as dangerous as he is, a shot? Win or lose, it's a lose-lose situation for you. Rachmanov's not at that point where he has that hype on his name amongst the mainstream where like a big win over him is going to do much for Wonderboy. And on the bad side, he loses, Rachmanov gets his spot. Like, I'm of the belief that every fighter should accept any fight that's proposed to them. Like, they have to fight no matter what. But Wonderboy, the guy's at the tail end of his career. Cut him some slack. Give him another striker in that welterweight division, and just let him try to get a win. Tristan saying, do you think the size advantage for Jordan is a significant factor or not as relevant? I think Nathaniel Wood will be fine. I don't think that Jordan is like the biggest featherweight out there. I think Nathaniel will be fine in that spot. Don't Tap Podcasting in almost all worlds gone wins, but plus 450 for Tuivasa and heavyweight tilt. After Sprinkle, wonder what the KO prop is going to be. I think the KO prop is the only way to really bet that fight. Like, is he winning by submission? Probably not. Is he winning by decision? Probably not. I think to maximize the juice there for Tuivasa, you just play the KO prop. Asher Quinn saying, if I'm Wonderboy, I say no to Shavkat as well. Exactly. Prison Mike saying, imagine being in Swiss Alps and still addicted to nicotine. What the fuck? Grass is always greener, fellas. All right, I'm going to go for a jog across the prison yard. See ya. I love you, Prison Mike. Enjoy your run. John K saying, read to a money line. If you're going to take it, might as well go with KO prop. Read in my mind there, John K. Sansons telling Prison Mike to have fun in the clink. Isn't he one of the best? Like, I fucking love Prison Mike. If I'm doing house or yard work, blazing is a must. True. Asher Quinn saying Wonderboy beats Masvidal. Luque still, I think, yeah, well, he's beaten both those guys already. I think he'd still beat them. Lost One Dream saying wrote so many college assignments. Blaze got 100% on one. I did the entire thing the day before. I've had those times in college as well. I've had those as well. Asher Quinn saying, I guess we found who would lose their answer. Who would lose their belt first out of Usman and Izzy, by the way. Jesus. I think you're right. Fuck. Can't believe it's that. Can't believe it was Usman. Robot Chicken Wings saying Edgar is a joke. She's judo throw or bust. I disagree. I think she's pretty good for women's MMA standard. Cold Shelton in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Always appreciate seeing you and showing some support. Asher Quinn saying Alien Perez tape I've seen, I've not been moved at all. Maybe even leaner in Edgar Perez fight doesn't go to decision or the under. Interesting. Robot Chicken saying lock with facts. I gotta drop the facts every now and then, my friend. Gotta drop the facts. Elijah Dream saying Trailblazer was a Wonderboy down the line. That should have been the fight. That is the fight they should have put together, not Wonderboy and Shavkat, not Holland and D-Rod. It's unfortunate, but that's what's going to happen now. Papa Chuck saying, in regards to 75-25 split, maybe that's the way that Shea can make up the money for that supposed $3 million bet that he lost on Onama. I'm still calling bullshit on that myself. I think it was more so clickbait than anything. It sucks. I love James. That's my fucking guy. But I hate the direction that all this stuff is going. Robot Chicken Wings saying what happened. Shavkat will retire Wonderboy before it happens. I don't think Shavkat's going to fight him. I was on Dream saying, how does Prison Mike come up with the stuff? He blows my mind. Well, he's definitely taken influence from Prison Mike himself. I love it. Basil Hazelwood saying most Chad fighter in the UFC. Would it have been Luke Rockhold? Was he the most Chad fighter, you think? Or Alexander Hernandez? One of those two guys. Lajon Dream saying I actually did the assignment on NBA 2K for my consumer behavior class and teacher loved it. There you go. It's always great when you're It's always great when you can take your passion and put it into school. I remember like I was like a diehard Tupac fan back in the day, and I actually had to do a presentation for him. I did a UFC presentation as well in college. Easy when it comes like that. MMA Jesus saying, I would love Wonderboy Masvidal to keep Jorge's unworthy arse away from the top five guys. He doesn't deserve anything except maybe a share of prison cell with Prison Mike. Wish Prison Mike was still around here to see these comments, but yeah, I don't think they have any interest in doing that fight again since Wonderboy has already beaten him. Robot Chicken Wings saying, I know she's better than that. I'm just clowning. There you go. Come on, Robot. Tristan Charles saying early lean Ducati versus Hill on December 10th. I lean Ducati, but Hill, I wouldn't count her out. That one's going to be more odds based as well for me. Depending on the line, if either one of them is a plus 150 or a higher underdog, they might be the side. But pre-tape, I'm going to go Ducati, but I feel like Angela Hill's experience will come into play here. This isn't Jessica Penne. Hill could give her some issues. Ricky Chow is saying I've max units on Chimaev's last leg of parlays, but what do you think of Diaz's best path? Diaz's best path got to be inside the distance, I think, right? Sub, maybe. I don't know how you would hedge that. West Coast saying Kraus shouldn't have retired. Retired or not, I think he would have been doing what he's doing regardless. Robot Chicken Wing saying, who wins the trilogy, Usman or Rocky? Gotta go Usman. But I hope they don't make that fight until at least summer of last year or summer of next year. Give him some time off. Let Rocky fight somebody else in the meantime. John K saying Fialo Salikov just announced thoughts. Banger City is a banger. And I slightly lean the Salikov side there. But I think, again, very much odds dependent there. I am not a Fialo believer whatsoever. MMA Jesus saying, do you feel like Luke Thomas has fallen off a little in the MMA world? I'm not going to lie to you. This is like the first time I've seen his name in months. Like, I'm not usually a guy that usually follows him anyway, right? I don't watch Morning Combat. I don't follow him often. I don't even think I follow him on social media anymore. I don't know what his fans think about him, if he's done something that's kind of gotten him not as famous anymore. But yeah, it's been a while since I heard about Luke Thomas. Anybody follow him still? Anybody listen to Morning Combat? Asher Quinn saying thoughts on Guido versus Holtzman. That one came out of left field as well. I thought Holtzman, one, I thought he was cut. And two, I thought Guido was ready to hang him up. I lean Holtzman there, but ugly fight. Very ugly fight. MMA Jesus asking about Elise Reed and that Mexican chick. I know nothing about the Mexican chick yet, so I can't give you a decent enough take on that fight. But Elise Reed proving people wrong left and right. Maybe she'll pull it off again here. Lazwan Dream saying Nate triangle choke. Perfectly timed yawn there as well. You'll be the first person I'm thinking about, Lazwan Dream, if Nate does pull it off. MMA Jesus saying Usman and Goddard should not be allowed anywhere near an Usman fight, if you catch my drift. I don't catch drift. I apologize. Lazwan Dream saying, hope Betway has a prop for Nate Triangle Sub. They usually offer some specific props like that. Wouldn't it be a bad way to go about it? Sam Nees saying, think Colby can get belt. Again, I do think if they give him the title shot here, I think he beats Leon Edwards. No ifs, ands, or buts. That would be a lock of the night play for me as well. Tristan saying Mustafa have a lock against Malarkey. Depends on if Malarkey's durability holds up, right? Yeah, I lean Mustafa there, but I'm not sure I'd go as far as calling him a lock. Robot Chicken Wings saying MMA Guru Colby is crybaby. Don't be fooled. Hey, he can still win. West Coast saying Fook MK and communist Luke Thomas. Ooh. Getting into the political side of things here. Asher Quinn saying I'll be fading Elise Reed. Again, I wish I could tell you something, but I know nothing about her opponent as of yet. Buffo on the beat saying, Glock, when all this GOAT and pound for pound talk starts, we see stuff like Edwards KO or Juliana Pena's W. Now I see Volkanovski claiming that number one pound for pound. Who do you think can take him out next fight? Imagine Emmett KOs him. Man, I'd be surprised if Emmett is to be the one to dethrone him. But we said the same thing about Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. I think, let me just confirm this before I talk out of my ass here. Volkanovski is 33. I believe Usman is 35. So maybe a couple more years left. I don't know. There's usually some sort of curse, right? It used to be the EA Sports cover curse. Maybe it's the movie curse with Usman now fighting being in Black Panther. Um, I hope Volkanovski doesn't slip. Bob Spikerman in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Lajon Dream saying Morning Combat always shows up on my YT's feed, or shows up on my YT feed sometimes. I haven't seen, heard, or even listened to anything from and or of Luke Thomas. I absolutely butchered that sentence. I apologize, guy. I haven't heard of anything from Luke Thomas in months and months and months. Jesus saying Herb Dean and Goddard should not be allowed near an Usman fight. Interesting. Why is that? Because you don't want to see him like completely dead. Is that what it is? Before on the beat saying nobody's going to pick Emmett, but we all know he has that KO chance. He does. He does. 70 saying, what odds do you think Kobe would be versus Leon? I think if people know, then Kobe will likely be minus 300. Kobe is Kamaru Usman carbon copy. Pretty much. John K saying Oliveira line continues to short now, plus 140. What do you think? I do wonder if the Dagestan tax is why the line opens so wide. Can't shake the difference in competition. Thoughts. Again, well, let's not look too far into the level of competition in this matchup. We know Islam Makhachev is real, right? We know he is legitimate. Let's not say just because his best win to this date is fucking. I don't even know who's his best win. Thiago Moises, Dan Hooker. Let's not say because of that Oliveira is going to win. I still lean on Makhachev there, but I really think the play in that fight is the under, like under 2.5 minimum. If you can get that, I think that's the way to go. It's hidden pretty much all of Oliveira's fights except 2 times, I think. I think we see a hit again. Robot Chicken Wings saying, I think Usman might go for the finish in the trilogy to prove a point. Maybe. But like I'm sure he was trying for the finish in that fight as well. Aaron saying, what's the most what the fuck lines you remember? Example, Lewis KO versus Blades was plus 400. Had to throw 100 on it. For me, it was Jake Matthews against Andre Fiallo. Underdog? Underdog? That is the most what the fuck line I've ever seen in my life. Sammy saying Fyodo or Chuk. I lean Chuk ever so slightly because, I think she's one of the more reliable women, especially when you can get her at decent odds. But like Fyodo's bigger strikes might be the difference maker in this spot. But hey, remember when Chukagian wrestle fucked the shit out of Antonina Shevchenko? She might look to do that here against Fyodo. She could absolutely look to do that here against Fyodo. What's going on, Bob Spikerman? Lajon Dream going to be wild if Nate wins, obviously. Asher Quinn saying none of this talk, please. Volk is cleared number one pound for pound. Yes. I think he's just saying it might be a curse. Asher Quinn saying has been since Khabib retired. Samni asking best prospect in each division. Ooh, that is a tough question to answer with 10 minutes left in the pod here. I don't know if we can still call Ilya Topuria prospect. I think he's great. Movs or Evloev, I guess he's ranked now. Yeah, those are the two prospects per se that come to mind at this point in time. JD saying, do you think Usman wins the rematch by decision or finish? I think he wins the rematch. Um, Tough to say whether it's going to be by decision or finish. He might come with that vengeance to be like, I want to try to finish this, but that doesn't guarantee that he'll be able to get a finish. Robot Chicken Wing saying Nate wins. He has terrible history with wrestlers. I know, but my guy Elijah Dream just loves him. Ash Quinn saying Kobe minus 300 and he's laughing about it. I don't know. Asher saying I am not moved by Kobe at all. I disagree. I think he is the number 2 welterweight right now. His style, his output, his pace, his cardio is tough for anybody to match. Tristan saying you like PFL Bellator 1 as second best promotion. I'd lean Bellator still. PFL is making a crack at it for number 2, but I still do lean Bellator. One, they're just not for the North American market, at least not yet. They're really trying to make that push with the Amazon Prime deal, but I think they're more so for that, you know, that side of the world, the Asian market. JD saying I'm having a hard time picking between Brady and Bilal. Which side are you leaning? I'm leaning Brady, but I really got to do the tape. I don't recall Brady's fight with Chiesa that well, and even Bilal. I really got to go back and watch his fights as well. MMA Jesus saying no because both of those guys allowed Usman to cheat big time. It's objectively true. The cage grabs, I guess, is what you're talking about, and then the fake knock shot makes sense. Bob Sprackman saying, thank you, man. Appreciate your work a lot, brother. Bossman should appreciate the love as always. We got the fruit guy in here, bananas and grapes, saying, dude, that Google odds his first loss was so sketchy, it made me pass on flowers. Yeah, his first loss, but again, it was against a legit guy, at least a legit guy at that point. Asher Quinn saying, Murphy plus 185 against Michite. Yes, that was a steal as well. I'm glad that I was able to hop on that too. One of the worst lines I've ever seen, absolutely. And everybody is just, again, Misha Tate has a great name and all, but let's be careful. She has not shown that she really has what it takes at this stage of her career. Aaron saying, I was stopped listening to Luke Thomas due to him injecting his political ideologies into MMA. We come to MMA and we come to sports to get away from politics. We come to sports to get away from all this other bullshit that's going on in the world. And we should keep it like that. Thomas Kane asking what division has the best top 10. I keep hearing arguments. Curious on your opinion. I lean lightweight, right? Maybe it might have fallen off at this point in time, but let me pull up the rankings here real quick. Let me see which top 15 rankings, or at least top 10 rankings, look the best. Flyweight, we got Matt Schnell and Alex Perez in there, and that just gives me a bad feeling. Bantamweight, from 10 down, we got Song Yadong, Pedro Munoz, Dominic Cruz, Rob Font, Jose Aldo, Marlon Vera, Corey Sandhagen, Marab, TJ Piotr, and Aljamain. So Bantamweight is definitely up there. Ricky Simone is closest to entering that top 10 as well. I think Pedro should be out of it by now. Featherweight, Giga at number 8, a little bit sketchy. Arnold Allen, Chan Sung Jung on the way down. So I'd still have Bantamweight at the top. Lightweight does look good still, right? Like a lot of the older guys are like occupying the top 5, and it seems like there's going to be an eventual turnover. But like again, from 10 down, we got Sarukian, Gamrod, Dos Anjos, Fiziev, Dariush, Chandler, Makachev, Gaethje, Poirier, and Oliveira. Still lean bantamweight. Welterweight, very sketchy. Middleweight, I don't even want to talk about it. Light heavyweight, that's starting to become very thin. We even go to the women's one. Let's see. Shawweight's not a bad division. Flyweight's a horrible division. Bantamweight, very sketchy as well. I gotta lean bantamweight now that I'm thinking about it. Men's bantamweight probably has the best top 10. Asher Quinn believes it's featherweight. Nathan Petrus in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by, my friend, as always. Don't tap podcasting. Aaron Jeffrey, let's fucking go. Yes, he pulled off a big upset there against Austin Vanderford. Nathan asking, does Bilal deserve the title shot after beating Brady? What do you think this guy's call out should be with that W? It's hard not to, right? Especially considering the history he now has with the now champion, and their weird fight. Um, but it's just hard when, especially if Hamza goes out there and wins his fight. I think Hamzat versus Bilal, if they both win their fights, should fight each other. Because I think Leon, I think he's already voiced that he's going to sit out to at least March, April of next year. That's how long Usman should stick out as well. And I think they're going to do the eventual rematch. So rather than just sitting on the sidelines, they should eventually put the winner of Brady and Bilal up against the winner of Hamzat and Nate, in my opinion. Colstein in the chat. What's good luck? I'm hearing more books going to have 1FC odds this weekend. You interested in anything? I am not. I just haven't had the chance to look into it. So I don't bother. It's going to be super interesting if he wins. I agree. Robot Chicken Wing saying, MMA Guru Jesus, how many times does Connor cheat? Nobody cries about it. Hey, I've been crying about it. Don't Tap Podcasts says Tate doesn't care win or lose anymore. So it seems hard fade. She's just happy to be happy. Exactly. I'd be interested to see if she even gets another fight. You know, I think her title aspirations are all but shot now, but does she still want to go in there and compete to try to make some money? MMA Jesus saying Luke Thomas comes to sports to shove PC wokeness and socialism down your throat. My man Luke, that's my guy. Ashley Quinn saying, I'd assume there's no future value on Tate now that people know she is not good. I wouldn't say she's not good. I think at this stage of her career, she's not good. MMA Jesus saying, hey guys, I'm dating whether to give Jim Cross 15 or 20K for my money to gamble with. Which number should I go with? You're fucking hilarious. Ashley Quinn saying, yeah, no, after looking at it, bantamweight and lightweight definitely better have better top tens. I agree. Ken Noah saying, wonder how the Kraus thing unfolds tax wise. Imagine you win 10K, pay them their 75. Are you left to pay the taxes on 10K despite seeing 25? Surely they aren't going to pay taxes on it. That's why I think they're looking for offshore companies, right? I think they want to be as, again, I don't want to call it sketchy, but like as off the books about it as possible. Thomas Kane saying welterweight could be improved if the young guys come through, but maybe too wrestling heavily. You know what? Welterweight, you do have a good point about welterweights, right? If the Shavkats, the Hamzats, well, Shavkat is number 11. But yeah, welterweight's not bad, man, especially with Jeff Neal making a bit of a resurgence. Sean Brady's up there. Welterweight's not too bad either. Still have to go bantamweight. Ashley Quinn saying avoid 1FC with a 10-foot pole for betting after all the weight cut drama. Yeah, staying away from it. West Coast saying Colby Hamzat is the fight after Hamzat smashes Nate. I wouldn't mind seeing that either. Colby needs to, like, I wouldn't mind him getting this title shot against Leon Edwards, in my opinion. But I would love to see him try to prove it against Hamzat as well. Ashley Quinn saying, I'd say she's not good in terms of whoever she is fighting. She used to be good. She is good no longer. MMA Jesus saying, I called out Connor for shooting, but more importantly, I called out Harberdine for doing nothing about it. Also, it's worse with Usman because he's also on PTs. There we go. Shout out to the MMA guru. I know that's not actually you in the chat, but his rant and his celebration after Leon knocked him out. Hilarious. Hilarious, hilarious. MMA Jesus saying Biden just increased the IRS personnel and funding by a lot, so I'd be careful going forward, trying not to pay taxes on things. That's why I'm happy I'm up in Canada. Robot Chicken Wing saying MMA Jesus, I agree with you about her, but saying Usman is on roids is false. You know, he doesn't pass my eye test, is all I got to say. Lajon Dream saying, I've never seen MMA Guru stuff. He is just, again, I haven't either. I've just seen clips and stuff that's out there. Excuse me. Yeah, I've only ever seen clips of him, but anytime I've seen it's just been him being loud and you know, emotional and I mean these in positive things. That's what people want to see. People want to connect with you, and just the way that he does it, There's a reason he has fucking almost 20,000 YouTube subscribers and shit. There's a reason anytime you go into any sort of like UFC stream on YouTube or something like that, there's always people just talking about MMA Guru. I hope my fans don't get that brash, right? I hope my fans don't go out there and just completely spoil and spam chats. You guys know better than that. You guys have better etiquette than that. All right. We are pretty much on the 1 hour mark of the podcast now. That is going to be a wrap on the show. I am thinking that tomorrow I'll actually be back to do the Contender Series breakdown. Normally I said I was going to do it on Sundays, but considering there's no UFC event this weekend, I think people could do with a Contender Series breakdown. So I'll look to be doing that at some point tomorrow. I'm going to be finishing it up tonight. So if you are on the Patreon, look for that prediction article to be completely updated today with all the rest of the matchups. And then I'll be back tomorrow to do a video to break down those fights as well. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Papa Chuck, I see you spamming. But yeah, catch you guys tomorrow for the Contender Series breakdown. Peace.